Hey everyone, this is Ben Weidman. I'm one of the tournament directors for the 2020 Huck-A-Thon, and we're happy to have the player meeting video for you here today. We want to say, first of all, welcome and thanks for playing. We want to say a thank you to you all for making this one of the biggest tournaments that Center County Disc Golf Association has ever hosted. Thanks to the 108 players who have signed up. Thanks to our incredible tournament sponsors. We raised more than $1,000 for future course improvements at our beloved Harvest Fields disc golf course.
Hey guys, this is Cody Hartzell, the other TD here. I just wanted to go over some of the check-in procedure because this is a pretty unique tournament here, starting with 3 different courses. So there's actually 3 different check-ins and 3 different groups starting at the same time. So by now you should have the schedule and you should see your assigned starting course, your starting hole, and the other team that you'll be playing with throughout the day. To make it easy on everyone, we're going to just be playing with the same groups throughout the day. So the team that you play against at the first course at 9 will be the same team you play against at the second course and the third course. Everyone's going to be rotating in the same direction. So it's going to be a rotation of Burnell, Harvest, Try, or if you start Harvest, Harvest, Try, Burnell, or Try, Burnell, Harvest. Um, we'll have the schedule at check-in, so you can double check your starting hole and your teams, and there may be some last minute adjustments in case teams drop or change, but your starting course will never change after the schedule goes out unless you are requesting it. So please arrive as early as possible for check-in, and please try to avoid arriving any later than 15 minutes. We're going to end check-in at 8:45. We have to be punctual to try to avoid delays. It's going to be a long day, 3 courses, and the days are getting later. So please try to arrive as early as you can. Our hope is to have the rounds tee off at 9, noon, and 3. As far as the second and third rounds, there will not be a check-in. So as soon as you finish up with your group on the first course, get in your vehicles, head on over to your second course. You're going to be welcome to tee off on your starting hole, which will be the same starting hole for all 3 courses. So if you started on 3, you're going to start at 3 at the next course and start on hole 3 at the third course. Please feel free to tee off at least 30 minutes before that time, so 11:30 or 2:30, but no earlier than that. So this is just to try to avoid you. If your group it happens to be a faster group, we just don't want you to collide with maybe a slower group at the second course that you're arriving that's still finishing their first round or their third round.
Every registered player who signed up to play in the 2020 Huck-A-Thon will receive a player pack, which includes a dry fit t-shirt if you made a selection with your color and size choice, a custom CCDGA keychain, a discount code to Big Cat Disc Golf. We want to say thank you to them for providing that, and a holographic Huck-A-Thon sticker. If you were one of the first 50 players who signed up, your pack also includes a $5 gift card from Innova Discs. We will have these items separately packaged by player in a Ziploc bag so that there's no sorting around trying to find your items and waiting for you upon your check-in.
We're going to have to go over some safety procedures here. So, due to the ongoing presence of COVID-19 and the possible transmission without symptoms, we want to make sure that everyone's maintaining their social distance of at least 6 feet with all other players.
This year, we'll be using the UDisc app as our primary scoring method. Each card just needs one player to score using the UDisc app, but each player does need to check in. So make sure that you have a registered UDisc account. A free version is just fine. Scores will be viewable as the tournament progresses using UDisc's app connectivity. We use this each week for league play, and it's kind of fun to watch people as they are playing in real time. Final scores for each of your rounds are going to be scored this way. So before you click submit at the end of your round, please double check with your teammates and card mates to make sure that everything looks the way that it should be. If you're unfamiliar with the layout of the 3 courses, UDisc is a really good resource to know which direction the next tee pad is, the layout of the hole, tee to pin distance, and it can even give you distance to the basket from wherever you're standing on the hole, and much more. It's also helpful to know where your starting hole is from the direction that you are parking. So keep that in mind and make sure you've got someone on your card with UDisc handy.
As far as the format of play goes, we're going to be playing a best shot doubles format. I believe most of us are aware of this format, but the way it goes is both players tee off from the tee. You choose your best shot and you proceed to play from there, choosing whichever shot of the two of you that you prefer to throw from. When you get to the basket, if the first person makes it, that counts. If the first person misses and the second person makes it, that still counts. As far as the other rules of play, please just abide by the PDGA rules. We're not going to be playing 2 meters, anything crazy like that. It's not a sanctioned event, so please, take casual relief if you need it. Just defer to your card mates as far as the rules of play go. Um, like I said, this is a tournament for fun. Try to avoid having any arguments over this. Try to avoid having any arguments over players playing too slow. Just try to keep up the pace, have fun, and get through all the holes. As far as the OBs go for this tournament, we created a OB handbook in the form of a PowerPoint that really goes over the critical OBs on each course. All three of these courses are going to have OBs, and some of these are very familiar to local players. Some may be a little unique due to some of the recent changes at Harvest and Try. So all three of our courses only have a single tee per hole. So all groups will be teeing off from the same tees, regardless if you're in rec, beginner, or intermediate, advanced, or co-ed. We're with one exception and one unique situation. The one exception is going to be hole 17 at Harvest, which is the water carry hole. Beginner and rec and co-ed groups will proceed to the drop zone, which is a short tee pad past the regular tee at the corner of the water, takes the risk of throwing the water completely out of the hole. You'll still play with the same par 5. The unique situation is going to be hole 7 at Burnell. We're going to have all players play from a short temporary tee location. This is just due to some overgrowth that's occurring on the hole. We wanted to keep the time down as far as searching for discs, so we just made the decision to have everyone walk past the tee, which should be clearly marked, proceed up the fairway to the top of the hill, and you'll be teeing off from a temporary tee at the top of the hill to the regular basket on 7. So please, everyone, just be aware of this handbook, reference it on your phones. If you have any questions, please look over it before the tournament.
Due to the recent addition of a mountain bike trail system at Harvest Fields, several of the holes there have bike paths, which you may cross or come into your line of play as you go through the course. Please keep the cyclists in mind before you throw. Just make sure that there's no one in your line of throw. The new back nine at Tri Municipal Park has an elevated tee pad, which has a significant drop off on hole number 18. That will be corrected over time, but unfortunately, it's just a little bit treacherous right now. So please use caution if you choose to go up top to that tee. If you're more comfortable teeing off beside the tee, please do that instead. Also, be careful at Tri Municipal and at Burnell. Because these are former farmers' fields, there are a couple of holes that have groundhog holes that could easily cause you to sprain your ankle. The holes that come to mind very quickly are hole number 7 and 14 at Tri Municipal, and at Burnell, hole number 14.
So keeping pace is going to be really important here because we need to get through 3 courses, 54 unique holes. It's going to be a long day. Critical points to making sure that we get through all of that play is, and to avoid backups, is keeping an eye on each other's discs. There are a few blind shots at Try and Harvest specifically, and Burnell actually. So please be aware of that. Use spotters where you can. If you do lose a disc, please only look for 2 to 3 minutes. It's double, so hopefully your partner's disc is in a better location already anyway. If you do lose a disc, let us know either through email or text at the end. We'll send some people out the next day and look for it and try to get it back to you.
Due to the limited parking at Tri Municipal Park, we are really encouraging teammates to travel together if possible to limit the number of cars at each course. When you're doing this, please consider COVID-19 health concerns. Make sure you're comfortable or okay traveling with your partner. Wear a mask if you need to. But we think if we limit the cars, that will allow the day to flow just a little bit better. At Tri Municipal, please park as close together as you can within the limited parking lot. And if you're going to drive off of the parking lot onto overflow space, please do not park around the green of basket number 9. Overflow down the hill past the parking lot towards hole 1 within reason. At Harvest Fields, you are welcome to park at the main church lot, but depending on which hole you are starting on that course, you may choose to drive up to the top of the hill to the small lot next to hole number 4, or to move to the lot just above that behind the lodge, depending on which hole you'll be beginning play from. Please use the parking lot that is closest to your starting hole so that you can get there as fast as possible and so that you're close to your car when you finish up your round.
All right. One of the really exciting things we have going on is that Brian Allen, who's a local artist who does some of the really well known art that's on specifically Discraft, but I think he works with a few different manufacturers. He's actually a local here in Center County. He's going to be out at Harvest Fields with a little fly mart selling some of his stuff. So if you got some cash with you, go check it out. There's some really cool discs there. We're really excited to have him and hope to have him in the future. Ben actually did an interview with him a few months back, so you can actually check out a link to that in the description.
We have 12 holes this year designated as closest to the pin holes. As the day moves on, the person with the closest shot to the pin at the end of the day wins a prize. There are 12 holes, as I mentioned, 4 on each of our courses, and we've got some great prizes for those. If you have the closest to the pin shot, please move the flag to where your disc comes to rest and mark your name on the included note card. If you're the first group of the day to tee off, please make sure that you have moved the CTP marker flag down to the basket, regardless of whether you think it'll be in good standing by the end of the day. Put it next to the closest to the pin shot on your card. Included with each CTP hole is a flag to mark the disc, a Sharpie, and a note card to record your name if you're the closest person. And so we know who to get to the prize to, as well as a small bottle of hand sanitizer to keep your hands germ free during this COVID-19 season. Please keep everything together and leave it as it was for the next team to shoot on the CTP hole as well.
In addition to the CTP prizes, we have prizes for the top 3 teams in each division. We couldn't be happier with the items that we received from all the sponsors. People really turned out this year as far as donations. We have some really awesome stuff to give out to all of you guys, and we're really excited about that. Due to the nature of this tournament, we won't be having a players meeting because everyone will be ending at different courses at different times. So we will be getting all the prizes to players after the tournament. If you're local, we'll offer you to pick it up at different times that we have leagues. If you're not local to State College, we'll be mailing them out to you. We will get your address and everything from you after the tournament.
67 of you paid into the A spot when you registered. There will also be an option to do so on the day of the event if you did not do so when you signed up, but would have changed your mind since then. This is a 50-50 ace pot with half of the $2 entry fee going to the Harvest Fund and the other half being paid out to any players who might hit an ace, meaning there is currently $67 on the line for those of you who chose to buy in. Normally, if no one hits an ace, we have a CTP throw off at the end of the tournament, but due to the spread out nature of this particular event, if no one hits an ace, the funds will also be added to the Harvest Fund. If multiple players hit an ace, the pot will be divided by the number of aces.
One other unique aspect of this tournament is that we don't really have a designated break. So, as far as food and water, please make sure you bring your own. This is a big tournament. There's a lot of play, a lot of holes to get through. There's a lot of hiking. All of you know your own body. You all know how many calories it needs to take for you to get through this type of event. So please make sure you're prepared as far as snacks, food, lunch, water. Um, there are a few places along the way. If if your team's making good time, feel free to stop on those along your travels. But we would encourage you to pack to just try to keep the pace up. We're gonna have water bottles at every course available. But feel free to bring any drinks you'd like, except for alcohol. It's not permitted on any of these courses.
We really want to thank our sponsors. This kind of an event would not happen without people supporting us. And it comes down to the little things as well. We want to say thank you to Collegiate Pride, a local printing company, for printing our Huck-A-Thon t-shirts. We want to say thanks to Innova and Grip 6, Infinite Discs, three companies that really love and support disc golf initiatives across the country, and they have been consistent supporters of our tournaments here in Center Region. This year, we're excited to be adding a sponsor from Boda Brothers, who have created the fabulous Birdie tabletop disc golf game. Um, we want to thank Let's Go Throw, which is our local disc golf supplier here in the region, Rick Romo and Edgar Board. We also had many of you donate things. Chris Ortiz, one of our local players, has provided us with a Home D gift card to use as prize. Chris Jansen and Cody Hartzell both sponsored holes during the tournament. Aaron Zimmerman's been hard at work with his lasers, creating prizes for the winning teams. We had local businesses like Papa John's on South Atherton and Brian Allen reach out to offer their help. And then we had a couple of other disc golf companies, U-Disc, Falling Putt, and Big Cat Disc Golf, which all have contributed things to our prize packs for our winning teams or CTP holes and things like that. It's a lot of people to thank, and we really are appreciative of all the ways that the disc golf community comes together to make an event like this happen.
Big shout out to all of those sponsors, but we also wanted to give a big shout out to all of you. This is a pretty huge deal. We only had 36 players play the inaugural Huck-A-Thon in 2018, 54 last year at the Harvest Fields Huck-A-Thon in 2019. And this year we actually had to turn a few people away and create a wait list, and we hit our capacity of 108 players, which is huge. I believe it might be the biggest tournament in Center County Disc Golf Association history. So we really thank you all for coming out and making history with us. And we really hope that you all can get through the day and make it through all the courses. And if you can shoot really well too, we have some really awesome prizes. So please enjoy yourselves, have fun, be safe, and yeah.
We hope that you have fun regardless of where you finish, and we hope that there's something involved in the day that really makes the day special for you. We look forward to connecting with you this weekend. Because of the spread out nature of the tournament, you may or may not see Cody and I, but we'll be around. If you have any questions, please send us an email, and we'll put our numbers if you want to call or text in email as well.